I was just fine without you people. I really was. I was curled up in the complacency of my cocoon. I was 8 pounds of equanimity nestled in the serenity of my womb, my own prenatal comfort zone, doing what had always been done the way I'd always known, listening to Beethoven's Fifth and being read to nightly, dining on fine cuisine from my own personal chef, occasionally posing for the paparazzi to snap a quick ultrasound, before scissor kicking myself to sleep in my placenta of peace. It was the life. That is until you showed up, tearing me from utopia with your concussive screams of push! That's all you people know. It's all breathe and hold and push, push, push with you. But you pushed me too far. Next thing I knew, I was forceps into this jagged-edged, windshield world with nothing but squishy skull, severed belly button, and coat of slime to shield me from this cataclysm you call a delivery room. And just as I plotted to avenge myself by tyrannizing you with a lifetime of maniacal crime, you delivered me onto the inversely familiar belly of a woman with a voice like half-forgotten dreams and a smile like home. And she gazed into my bewildered eyes, and she held out her trembling hand for me to coil both of my palms around her pinky finger. And she began to promise that she would do her very best to keep me safe. And she didn't promise that I would never scrape a knee or have my heart rupture from love, that I would never know the felt-tip names across the cast or a saline cinch of tears along my cheek or scar tissue. She simply promised me that she would never inadvertently be the source of the scar. And I believed her. Even then, I trusted her. It was how she promised, you know? See, there is a protocol to the making of covenants. You look the other party square in the eye, you extend your hand, shake on it, and you say, I promise. All right? This is how it's always been done. Since birth, we've been versed in the various levels of commitment to someone. There is level 1, statement of intent, a casual pact, regrettably known to some as the don't hold your breath level. This is the stuff of campaign promises and that cousin who owes us money. Then there is the promise, the real deal, right? Now, this is the stuff of wedding vows, final requests, and legal contracts. Normally, this would be the end-all, be-all of all pacts. But there is another level, a third level. The ultimate act of commitment known to laypersons simply as the pinky promise. It is paper to rock-solid verbal agreements and scissor to binding paper contracts. I guarantee that the divorce and infidelity rates would plummet here and now if we moved wedding rings one finger to the left and locked pinkies during our vows. For if marriage is a promise before God, a pinky promise is like a promise to God. It is not, what do you mean you're not coming to my birthday party? You promised. It is, if raging fire stands between you and this covenant, what's a little third-degree burn between friends? You promised. If keeping this vow will bring you a period of unhappiness, happiness is overrated. You promised. If this oath will cost you extra time or extra money or extra humility or extra paperwork, well, then I'll let you off the hook. Just be sure to take me off your emergency contact listings, give me all the Will Ferrell DVDs I let you borrow, and lose my number. You're dead to me. You promised. This is the irrevocable power of the digitus minimus. So be wary. Be wary. Not every promissory note is sealed with a pinky, which is why chances are I'm probably not going to get back that money I loaned to my cousin. But when affliction comes calling, when a collision with life returns me back to this place, a larger version of those same four walls that induced my mortality. And I find myself scrape-kneed and scar-tissued before the extended hands of a healer who admits me into care. Oh, that is a pinky promise. Doctors are adorned with ivory regalia upon pinky promising to first do no harm. Nurses sign off nightly with pinkies on paperwork that promise that they've given their very best. You made me an unspoken but unmistakably understood pinky promise when I was admitted into this hospital. Not that I won't ever die, not even that you can heal what ails me, just that you will not inadvertently be the source of the scar, that you will keep my mortality safe from yours, that you will not ever put me in unsafe conditions that might threaten my life with my non-life-threatening conditions. So if nothing else, this is what I expect of you today. After all, you promised. So I trust you. I trust that you will be clean, that you will not ever enter my room without me hearing the mechanical squirr, squirr of the hand sanitizer by the door. I trust that you will be careful, that you will not let the last thing I hear on the surgical table before I succumb to the happy mask be, no, doctor, your other left. I trust that you will be clear, that you will not scribble the word progesterone so carelessly as to bear fatal resemblance to the word prostin and make never events of my unborn twins, that you will not puncture the wrong side of my brain and leave me unable to remember my grandchild's name, that you will come with haste when I tell you, with cobalt skin and abdomen pregnant with blood, doctor, I think something's wrong. And I don't know why I trust you guys so much. I mean, frankly, you all are the last people on earth that I should trust. I have had a very strained relationship with health providers since the day I was born. A doctor was the first person to ever hit me. First to make me cry. First to spill my blood and take me from my mommy. First to see me naked and comment. First to judge me. First to manhandle me. First to cut me. I don't want to talk about it, but I'll tell you this, we're going to do it a bit differently this time around. See, I get a bit more input in my own health care now, so you're not just going to be poking and prodding and manhandling me without my permission. You want to help me? You got to go through me. You want to treat me? You got to learn how to treat me. You want to keep me safe? You got to understand what makes me feel unsafe. So consider me your one-man patient safety committee. And my first committee change will be the committee's name to the Total Safety Committee. For only once you feel safe can you really help me feel safe. Right? And once I feel safe, then you can help me be safe. And once I am safe, you can help me feel better. And my feeling better will reinforce you feeling safe to openly communicate, to point out superiors' mistakes, to put this is how it's always been done in its proper place, to pull the boogeyman of disruption out from under our bed, kick open the door of the evolution monster that lurks in our closet, and stop being so terrified of transformation. Before we can change this to a place of safety, we must first safely create a place of change. Which is why I have taken the liberty of changing the door locks to my room. Safety starts here. See, this room is my safety net. My safe zone, my safe house. So to keep what's left of my dignity in and keep discourtesy out, I've installed some new security measures, which will include password protection that only responds to magic words. We all know magic words, please, thank you, I'm sorry. A real-time retinal scan that insists on continuous eye contact. A voice authenticator that grants greater access each time my name is spoken through the arc of a smile. And of course, a fingerprint scanner custom fitted for pinkies only. Press down here, promise accepted, and you are in. Now, keep in mind, this room is a sedated, sterile environment. So each time you enter, I'm prescribing 20 cc's of humility to help ease provider pretentiousness. Side effects may include sudden decrease in arrogance, loss of appetite for sovereignty, itching for systemic solutions, and increased propensity to get over it. Are you working around the safest system to save time? Well, we invite you to get over it. Underperforming for fear of being undermined? Take a moment now to get over it. Is my sickness making me so belligerent that you are losing your mind? Well, how about you try helping me get over it? I'll make you a deal. I'll trade you safety for sanity. You check up on me every 30 minutes for no particular reason, and I'll stop hitting the call button every 30 seconds for no particular reason. You don't ignore my needs for attention just because Earl down the hall over there is a temper tantrum in a robe. And I won't resist your treatment just because my last doctor was a colonoscopy in a coat. And don't show up here alone. Why are you in my room alone? Not to get all African proverby on you, but we all know it takes an entire village to raise one child. And I'm not a child, but I am laying here in fetal position, unable to feed, scratch, or wash myself, while the last remnants of my manhood are spilling out of the back of this robe. So maybe I don't get an entire village, but it better take at least a small township to extract my kidney. I want a suburb of surgeons to suggest amputation. I accept nothing less than a cul-de-sac of clinicians carrying out my treatment. I take my opinions by the pack. I want the Sam's Club diagnosis in bulk. I'm looking for a rainbow of uniforms to enter my room like a bag of skillets filled with white coats and emerald scrubs and gray suits and pink nursing uniforms and whatever my mama decides to wear that day. And yes, you better make sure my mama is there that day. For she is not a visitor. She is the model for bedside manner, the prototype for pinky promises, the pain medication you cannot possibly prescribe. And my spouse, that is my frontline patient advocate, 24/7, no sign off, every shift. Your biggest asset is filling any of my blanks that you may have missed. Oh, and my cousin, he is my care partner. He may not be a medical expert, but he owes me money and he's working very hard on my behalf. All right? Now, speaking of hard work, I hope you're ready to clean up this safety score. You can follow my tips for a record so clean that you can eat it off the floor. First, keep your communication as clean as the whistle you blow on any team members who don't come clean with all they know. Wipe your archaic slate clean and make it a clean slate. Break all traditions, but make it a clean break. Take your profession, every little secret, and give it a clean sweep. Clean rooms, clean tools, clean records, clean sheets. And while the GSIs visit your unit along their routes and start sniffing around for errors, tell them you're clean out. Make sure you keep your conscience clear and your hands squeaky. Keep your penmanship clear and your needles bleachy. Keep your head up, your nose clean, and clean up your act. And you'll find that your clean bill of health is on its way back. For cleanliness is next to godliness as far as I'm concerned. But if you don't believe in God, you better at least believe in germs. Believe, at least, in the peril of staph infections that lie dormant in unsterile staph connections. Take as gospel the pneumonia loitering in the tubes of the poorly prepped ventilator I've been ordered to use. Believe in my wounds quickly spreading infection that remains unclean beneath the third change dressing. Have faith in the prophecy of your mistakes and embrace the power of empathy in each case. No, don't strive so hard to paint me the perfect picture of health that you lose sight of how stoically you portrait yourself. For if a picture is worth 1,000 words, well then a vulnerable truth is worth 1,000 lawsuits. A bit of transference prevents 1,000 transgressions. Perhaps we need no laws to insulate your apologies when transparency becomes a system-wide policy, when I can look at my reflection on the surface of your pupils and see the image of your father, breathe of the book. I see the face of your daughter, all freckles and fear. I need to look at you and clearly see that you see your family when you look at me. After all, you promised that you wouldn't inadvertently be the source of the star. And I trust you'll make good on it because it's who you are. You are palmetto-powered advocates, leaders, and staff. Oh my. From pediatric to paramedic to orthopedic. From Greenfield to Somerville to Rock Hill. As long as you breathe, you hope. You believe. You fight. You beg, borrow, and steal best ideas from others who got it right. And you promote, share, and squeal on their major errors so others don't get it wrong. Because accountability is totally in. And blame is so last year. Only finger pointing that happens is with pinkies around here. See, I'm not looking for someone to blame. I'm looking for someone to explain. For someone with empathy to share a piece of my pain. And you're not looking to be blamed. You're looking to be changed. To take whatever steps necessary to hit your four aims. Not towards change like a new version of the norm, but this is you at the edge of change. Like it's time to transform, to do different. Not for the sake of doing different, but of being different, of being better, of being there. When I need you, I mean, this is who you are. You are a one-man access point to our collective brain, which is a good thing because I don't know vascular neurology from Adam. But you do. And you know an ischemic stroke from a hemorrhagic. And you network your network to evaluate it, right? You embrace each opportunity to reach across geography so that others can learn from what others can teach, so that to share what others can see, to repair what others cannot, to bust open my clocks and unblock my thoughts and conquer my clock. This is who you are. This is why you're here. This is you one woman fire in our collective throats who also hates when a patient dies as much as the tardy, more than the tardy doctor attending all but your sister's life, who believes in God but won't leave it all up to him to change the system. So you take quality committees and you equip them with patient power theory, and you accepted a new mission as a lifeline to SC cases, a trigger for SC safety, and a voice for SC patients, from the bedside of those minding their golden years to the pulse of those needing steady heart care. This is what you do. You one woman editor of our collective story with your gold heart and your gold award and your gold badges running through each ward, saving and rescuing safety, one story at a time, one rapid response, preventing one code at a time, one S-bar, stopping one stroke at a time, one nurse rewarded with excellence and flowers at a time, one staff member, one round, 1 hour at a time. This is what you do. This is what you are. You are mothers standing united against medical error, and fathers piloting human performance to new heights. You are executives making your courageous mark of excellence on the bench of safety. You connecting care to one patient and setting one record that leapfrogs your staff to the top. You are med students, birthing the promise for a safer future. I'm afraid to raise your pinkies in class and question decades of tradition. You are the everyday people who win awards in your wards every day, who prove that all it takes to give you best is your best. All it takes to change the life of one person is one person. Linking pinky with one person. Locking eyes with one person. Forming this collective promise of problem solvers. Getting health down into a science. And advocates getting safety down to a culture. Number crunchies getting prevention down to a formula. A systemic recipe for success, where what's followed by the book is only what works best. A systemized checklist of always events that eliminates reckless never events. An epidemic outbreak of hospital OCD that has you counting and recounting and recounting obsessively So you don't call a surgery successful before you count every tool. Don't create a standard of communication that doesn't count every doctor. Don't engage a system for success unless it counts every failure. Don't herald a definition of safety that doesn't count every patient. Because when every patient counts, then the amount you spend on safety, time, money, effort, is far outweighed by what you say. Time, money, effort, Dave, Taylor, Jessica, Mike, Curtis, Jennifer, Doris. It is more than just numbers. 17 billion spent on preventable errors. It is a miracle of babies' first steps. 100,000 deaths a year from medical error. It is the awesome sight of sunsets, more deaths than from car accidents. It is being able to sleep in the night, more deaths than from AIDS. And able to cover tea steady in the winter, more deaths than from breast cancer. And remember the grandchildren's name, Trania. Remember the patient's name, Anne. Remember the error's name, Willie. Remember the name, Louis. Repeat it back like diagnosis. Louis. Repeat it back like instruction. Louis. Repeat it back like medication. Louis. The kind that makes you feel worse before you feel better, because I know it feels better to just sit here and toast and laugh and comfortably celebrate success. But the last thing I ever want you to be when you enter my room to treat me is comfortable. I want the tongues of doctors who call time out to burn with outrage at the medical statistic errors. I want the hearts of pharmacists to repeat orders 3 times to clench with disgust at this stain on their profession. Give me that hospital exec who weeps when consulting that picture on his desk. I'll take the nurse who pricks herself when pinning the ribbon to her chest. I want secretaries, technicians, housekeeping staff who understand that if it can be understood, it can be misunderstood. And are thus happily haunted by patient safety's new mantra, accidents happen. Not as a reactive excuse for error, accidents happen, but a proactive reminder for prevention. Accidents happen. And I hope this makes you uncomfortable. I hope it has you shifting in your seat, grappling with your imperfection. I hope it stirs you to run back to hospitals and demand nothing less than complete, system-wide, statewide, nationwide, transformational change until every one of you, every day, can look me in the eye with humanity. And you call me by my name as if it were your very own. You hold out to me the elixir of your healing hands, palms, warm as a gift, grip, tender as humility, pinkies filled with the promise of your very best. You remember that this will not inadvertently be the source of your scars, I swear. This, being human enough to err, but still human enough to care. This, someone hurts, someone hugs, someone needs, someone's there. This,